Great, you got a doorbell camera. Now you got a front row seat to your house getting robbed.
No.
And there's nothing you can do about it.
Get out of my house!
Ooh, Mom's jewelry. There goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No!
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them. With Rollins, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation. Plus, a free doorbell camera.
Free?
One that'll actually work for you. It's not total security unless it's the Sloman Shield. Call 1-800-ALARM-NATE.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
All right, we are here. It is the Miami Garden Studio. I'm Sean Stanley coming to you. It is the Squared Circle Digest on a Friday. We are joining you this Friday, and then I will be starting a little bit of a working vacation, and then into the Vegas Summer League we go. Make sure got some interviews also posted at the Big O Radio Show YouTube channel. Some Heat Summer League interviews went up earlier today. I know it's 4th of July weekend. This will not be a long show. Not a lot happening. We do got Money in the Bank coming up. Blood and Guts happened at AEW. Couple signings. An update possibly on Bayley returning. Maybe by the end of this month is being reported by Dave Meltzer. Apparently the knee is healed up now. It's been almost a year. Actually July 9th. July 9th, she tore her ACL. And now July 1st, almost a year out from when she tore her ACL. It's looking like possibly around July 30th when the next pay-per-view, around that time frame. Unless they bring her back earlier. So we'll see what happens there. SmackDown on tonight. They will fill in the final contestant for the Money in the Bank match. Looks like it'll be a possible four-way that will be going down. Ezekiel, Happy Corbin, Madcap Moss, and I cannot remember who the final person was on there now. I will get that information for you right here. It is The Miz. Sorry. Couldn't think of The Miz. Imagine that. Steve Chapman would be so happy that I forgot about The Miz. We got Money in the Bank heading up. So before we go off the air, I'll give you at least what I know so far. Probably won't have the final member of the Money in the Bank ladder match set up yet, but I'm going to give you my Money in the Bank predictions, and they'll probably be all wrong, but hey, that's what we do. I want to get into AEW first. They had Blood and Guts this Wednesday. It was the Jericho Appreciation Society taking on Blackpool Combat Club, Kingston, and then Proud and Powerful. The Blackpool Combat Club consisted of Wheeler Yuta, Claudio Castagnoli, and of course John Moxley. So Blackpool Combat Club wins it. Eddie Kingston was looking for the submission on Jericho. Jericho was about to tap, but then one of the 2.0 guys tapped in Claudio's, what I guess would be the sharpshooter that he's using right now, and also what he used in WWE when he was there. And he did get the tap out before. Some injuries did arise from that match. There's a knee injury to Santana. Not sure how serious it is as of yet. Have not seen anybody reporting anything as far as the severity of it. It is a knee injury. Looks like he planted wrong and the knee buckled under him when he went to do a slam. There was fear of Moxley possibly a concussion. That seems to have been kind of ruled out. There's also some worry about a back injury with Eddie Kingston. believe that is not a major injury for Mr. Kingston heading in. So we'll see what they go with. Again, they had Forbidden Door the weekend. Adam Cole did get injured. You have CM Punk already injured. Bryan Danielson already injured. MJF is in this. I'm not sure what area he's in with AEW right now. You got a lot happening in AEW. You've got contracts expiring and not being renewed. Another member of the Dark Order, Alan Five Angels, is gone. Was told his contract would not be renewed. They would bring him back on a per appearance deal, and he decided time to step into the independent area and see how that works out for him. It looks like it's gonna be pretty good. He's already got the next month and a half booked, so it looks like not a bad deal. But I also wonder how many of the young guys they lose now with these bigger contracts that they're signing a lot of these former WWE guys to. And again, Kenny Omega said in an interview, again, if he has another setback, he's not sure about his career. I don't know how much of that is, again, with wrestling, believe half of what you see and nothing of what you hear. So it could just be a Kenny Omega, setting it up. But I know he had a lot of injuries, man. I did not realize how beat up he was and how beat up he had been. But he recovered from one surgery, went right into the next, and it's just been nothing but surgeries and rehab for Kenny Omega. And hopefully he does return, because I would love to see him back. Forbidden Door ended up doing 127,000 pay-per-view buys after everything was broken up between the revenue broken up. AEW netted 4.4 million off of pay-per-view. They did a gate of 1.1, and I did not see about merchandise sales for Forbidden Door. So overall, a pretty successful pay-per-view for AEW and New Japan. The problem, and I agree with a lot of people, what they were saying was, I think they should have done more vignettes for the casual wrestling fan. But again, that's where I say AEW sometimes caters too much to their fans. They have a lot of hardcore fans, and they follow New Japan, they follow all these others, but some of your casual wrestling fans don't. So they didn't understand who some of these guys were. They're big time Japanese stars. But over here, if you're not, you're a casual wrestling fan, you're used to WWE stuff, you probably didn't recognize some of those names that were on, Forbidden Door. But ultimately, I mean, again, it did very well. I know New Japan wants to also have a Forbidden Door in Japan. So we'll see how that goes and how that plays out. As I said, Bailey, looking at about a July 31st, possibly. The end of the month again. This is being, kind of reported that, she could be ready around that time frame. So around the 31st through, on, you could watch for her to pop back up. I think she's much needed. I do believe the women's division in WWE is getting better. You still have Charlotte out right now, so when she comes back, I think you'll see that get better. Depending on what they do with Naomi, there's a whole bunch of different things. Depending on what stories you want to believe, is Sasha was released, Sasha hasn't been released. I don't know what the story is, but Sasha's not in plans right now. So what you have is what you got, and I don't think it's that bad of a division. Aaliyah was sent back down to NXT. Tamina was brought back in toward the qualifying matches. As far as that goes, Aaliyah, they didn't like how she was performing in the ring during some of the build up toward the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. Think she needs some more seasoning, so hopefully she'll get her shot back on the main roster. Solo Sakai is hinted at possibly being brought up. That was on Fightful Select. If you don't have that, if you do, I applaud you, and I make sure you follow them. Sean Ross Sapp, all of them over there got some good stuff going there. But they hinted at possibly Solo Sakai getting the call up to run with the Bloodline, possibly. So again, the Bloodline will get a little bit of new blood, and we'll see where that goes. Some also new signings this week. Valerie Loretta, 21-year-old MMA star. She has been signed to WWE NXT. Joseph Rodriguez, what's up, my man? But as I said, so Valerie Laredo signed to a WWE NXT deal. Basically, she'll be at the PC working out and getting there. I guarantee you. To me, she has the look. She definitely has the athleticism. I think she'll be able to catch on to this very well. And I think ultimately you'll see her quickly ascend through the WWE ranks and up into the main roster. Logan Paul, he signs a deal. And again, this is from recent highlights. The supposed contract that Logan Paul signed was 3 years, $15 million. Not confirmed by anybody. This is reported by recent highlights. I don't know. I was looking around trying to see what they had. That would be again, he has 40 million followers. He's a celebrity. The thing that I want to find out about is if this is a celebrity deal, where like the Brock Lesnar deal where he only wrestles 7 times, or are they bringing him in as a full-time performer? So it'll be very interesting to see what they end up doing with Logan Paul. And Joseph Rodriguez, agree, my man, agree, which is why I think she'll be pushed rather quickly up through the ranks at the PC Center. I think she'll grab onto this pretty well. One of the things that, again, the MMA fighters, the only thing I think sometimes they have is the loosening up. They already know most of the stuff, the throws, when they're throwing each other around and all that stuff. It's a matter of, loosening up a little bit and making it look more fluid than robotic. If you want robotic, Ken Shamrock, when he first started, he always looked robotic where he was going. He's gotten a million times better. Ronda Rousey, at times, you'll see her where she kind of gets lost and things like that. So, but again, they haven't been doing that long. Ronda Rousey, honestly, man, how long has Ronda Rousey been with WWE? I want to say, when did she do the WrestleMania? Let me see real quick here. Sorry. Let's see when she signed with WWE here. It's funny when you look at her, it's American Professional Wrestler. So I'm taking a look at this real quick here. Let's see, when did she sign with WWE? Come on, people. Shouldn't be this hard to find. There you go. Professional wrestling career. Let's see. So 2014 sporadic and signing in 2017. So, again, I mean, she hasn't been doing this that long. So ultimately, I think she has done very well. The only thing that, again, is I don't think they should have her cut babyface promos. Heel promos, she can do in a heartbeat. Babyface promos, no mas. No mas. Unless it's to get out there and to fire up. Nobody's going to feel sympathy for Ronda Rousey when they know she's a legit badass. It just, to me, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't come off as her doing the babyface stuff. Just does not work for me. Right now, SmackDown's got a battle royal going on. It's Omos and Seth Rollins in the ring right now. And the Money in the Bank will be, and Seth Rollins just jumped over the top rope instead of facing Omos. Pretty good, pretty fun, pretty interesting there. Why take the beating now when you got to face him actually tomorrow night? I have to remember that. And then remember that, everybody, please. July 2nd, tomorrow night is Money in the Bank. The pay-per-view is tomorrow night, not Sunday, as is normal. It is this Saturday, July 2nd. The pay-per-view will start at 8. 7 o'clock will be the pre-show. Let me see if they have, I don't think they have a buy-in for this one yet. Let's see if they end up throwing something on there. But let's start with the matches here. We've got the Undisputed Tag Team Championships, the Usos against the Street Profits. I've got the Usos, Cat for Life, Riddle winning it all. I don't know about that. I got an interesting take on that. I want to get some of your guys' thoughts on this when we get to the Money in the Bank matches. The Undisputed WWE Tag Team, as I just said, I think the Usos win that one. Maybe they introduce Solo Sakai. We'll see. The U.S. title. This is interesting for me because I think Bobby Lashley ends up winning this. But the question I have is how they are going to end up letting Bobby Lashley win this. Because I was thinking the announcements John Cena was going to say was he'd be at SummerSlam as maybe like a just visiting backstage and everything else. And then maybe he cost Theory the match. And then that'll start setting up for Theory Cena. We'll see if that happens. But I still think Bobby Lashley wins it. I'm interested to see how they pull this off without hurting Theory. Ronda Rousey, Natalya, if anybody doesn't think Ronda Rousey keeps this, I don't know what else to tell you. Bianca Belair against Carmela. Again, I think Bianca Belair wins this. The interesting thing with this is with both of those matches, where they're scheduled on the card. Do they have the women's Money in the Bank ladder match before? Because again, they usually have a ladder match kick off the card and then one of the ladder matches in the card. I think that's going to tell you if somebody will cash in the Money in the Bank. If they do the women's first, look for a cash in at Money in the Bank. And that's what I'm going to go with here. I think Money in the Bank, I want Liv Morgan to win. But here's where I want to go with this on this ladder match. AEW did the Owen Hart tournament, if you remember back a little bit ago. What did they do on that tournament? There was Britt Baker won the women's title, or won the women's, right? Adam Cole wins the men's. Would WWE do the same thing and end up putting Becky Lynch winning the women's and Seth Rollins winning the men's? Seth Rollins makes sense in the area of him holding on to the cash, the Money in the Bank cash in briefcase, and cashing it in maybe right before Cody comes back. And then now you can get the title on Cody because you can have Seth cash in and kind of steal the title away from Roman. Cody returns, beats Seth, and now you've rolled the title onto Cody Rhodes when he returns from his pectoral injury. But I'm wondering if they take that and do the Adam Cole and Britt Baker win the men and the women. Would they do the same thing with Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins? And I think if Becky Lynch wins, I think she cashes it in that night. That's my other thinking on her winning the women's. I hope Liv Morgan gets a push. I do. But I think right now, if you look at the landscape of the women's, right now the title's on two baby faces. Usually you have a baby face and a heel champion. Right or wrong. But right now it's on two baby faces. I think they want to get the title back on to a possible heel. But I hope Liv Morgan gets a chance and can do it. And then also, like Cap said, he's got Riddle winning it all. I think a lot is said, and the story is kind of written for Riddle to win it, right? He loses the match on SmackDown. He'll never get another shot for the heavyweight title. He wins the Money in the Bank. There's a shot. They've written out that story as well. You have the Seth Rollins going after the the Money in the Bank, and then Cody Rhodes cashing in on him. There's a little bit longer storytelling involved in that. Drew McIntyre, I don't think he wins it just because he gets a title shot at Clash at the Castle, which will be in the UK, the pay-per-view in the UK. And then Sheamus, Omos, Sami Zayn, I just feel like they're thrown in there. I really do. The interesting thing, though, is Sami Zayn says if he wins it, he would protect Roman Reigns and have the briefcase. Again, another story that's kind of written out, and it could turn into something interesting if he does win it somehow. And you got Sami Zayn running around with the briefcase, but he never cashes it in because he's trying to protect, the tribal chief. And you see him week in and week out. And then maybe at some point, Adam Pearce says he's got to start defending it. So then he has to defend the briefcase to keep it. Be the first time they do it, but you could make up something and have fun with it if you put it on. So there's a couple different angles they could go with the men's. The women's side, I really think it's Alexa Bliss, Liv Morgan, Becky Lynch. Those are probably your three maybe odd-on favorites to win it. Asuka's interesting, but I feel like she's had her run right now. Will she get another run? Of course, she's great. But I think the way the story's been written out is, Becky Lynch was on a very poor run for a while. Bam, she finally gets the win. She's in the Money in the Bank. Her luck's turning around. She wins the briefcase, cashes it in that night. All of a sudden, Becky, everything that was going bad for her, everything turns good. So they did write a couple different stories to where you kind of, you know what? Riddle could win. Seth could win as well. I think the men's is between those two. I don't think there's anybody else involved in the men's that, and like I said, the Sami Zayn one would be funny for the SmackDown crowd and the writing team to do that one. Do I think he's an odds on to win it? More than likely, no. But you never know, man. I mean, again, WWE's got to get, they've got to get something going just to freshen up some of the storylines. Again, I don't know. I don't have all the answers. I don't know what all their creative plans are, but you're seeing some of the stories the storylines being played out in front of you. Right now you've got, let's see, it's Corbin, Sami Zayn, Drew McIntyre, and Sheamus, the last four in the Battle Royal that's right now. So we'll see what they end up doing as far as the Money in the Bank briefcases. But those are three storylines for the men's and two for the Liv Morgan, I think would be the good thing for the fans, seeing her break through. But then the Becky Lynch story that has been written has been pretty good as well. Other than that, I don't think any title, maybe Bobby Lashley. Like I said, I think Bobby Lashley could win the U.S. championship if they end up playing out that way, or you end up, you're going to have to, I don't think Theory wins clean, but I think Lashley deserves to win the U.S. title. I think he needs a run with that title because, again, you're pushing him as the almighty Bobby Lashley, and to me, he should be able to beat Theory. I know you're pushing Theory as this, as the chosen one, but chosen ones can get knocked off as well. And that's pretty much my Money in the Bank, predictions. And like I said, probably every one of them will be wrong. But that's why, and believe it or not, there are odds for Money in the Bank. So let me get those odds because I'm sure we got some gamblers out there. All right, so here we go. Latest Money in the Bank WWE 2022 odds. Liv Morgan is the favorite, plus 100. Lacey Evans at 250. Becky Lynch at 475. So everybody thinks it's going to be Liv Morgan. Interesting. The Raw Championship match, the Women's Championship match, Bianca Bel-Air is debated minus 2,000. Ronda Rousey is a minus 1,750. Jey Uso, the Usos are minus 400. So everybody looks like they've got the money on the Usos as well. They have Theory as a minus 200 and Bobby Lashley is a plus 140. So again, those odds are more tilted toward Lashley probably, maybe getting a win there. But interesting that Liv Morgan and then Asuka is got the worst odds, plus 1,200, which I think is just because of the when you look at the things. Lacey Evans surprises me as the second favorite, and Becky Lynch at 475. I might put some money on Becky Lynch. I'm not gonna lie. I might put a little bit of money on Becky Lynch to see her win that. It looks like Corbin might have won the Battle Royal. I didn't see Sami Zayn get eliminated yet. So it looks like, hold on a minute. So it looks like Sami Zayn did get eliminated. So it looks like Corbin, Happy Corbin wins the Battle Royal. So I believe he will now, if I'm not mistaken, I think he gets added to the Money in the Bank ladder match. I got the volume down here, so I can't tell. But the way he's celebrating, it seems like he's focusing on Pat McAfee here. And then that's just going to be an interesting thing too, because at SummerSlam, Pat McAfee again laid out the challenge to Happy Corbin. So we'll see where that goes. But right now it looks like it will be Happy Corbin in. So we know he definitely isn't winning that. And so we'll see what happens at this pay-per-view. I want to thank everybody that's been on the chat. Cap, Stone, my dad, Joseph, everybody else, everybody that's been on there. I appreciate you guys so much. Appreciate all the support. Thank you. I want you guys to have a safe, healthy, happy 4th of July weekend. Don't hold on to the bottle rockets. Don't hold on to the, what are they, the Roman candles, whatever else you got nowadays. We were at the store the other day. They've got the little dog that poops that come out of the dogs. Yeah, we had to get a bunch of those for the kids. But everybody have a healthy 4th of July. Stay safe. Tuesday night, I will not be here. Thursday night, I fly out. Next week's shows will be preempted. I might try to do one on Friday night. I don't know what it's going to look like right now at the Vegas Summer League, but definitely will try to do a show sometime next week. Don't know what time or when. So if you're listening on a podcast, please pass that along to anybody that watches the show that might not be hearing it today. Next week, the schedule will be off a little bit, as again, we'll be in Vegas covering the Summer League, and the week after, we return on the 15th. After that, we will be back to Tuesdays and Thursdays, which I should probably be able to do the second week from Vegas. So I want to thank everybody that's here tonight, spending your Friday before the 4th of July weekend. I want to thank again everybody. Have a fun, safe, happy 4th of July from myself and the Squared Circle Digest. And until the next time, the words of the great Gordon Soley. So long from the Sunshine State.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CFs, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.